Izuku Midoriya. In other universes, he gained his quirk from All Might. In some, he was gifted the power of death, and in others, he could control the dead itself. But this Izuku Midoriya is different. He's different to the point that, well, he doesn't have a quirk, and it remained that way for his whole miserable life. Izuku Midoriya wanted to still be a hero, or at least that's what the assumption was for a long time. So he decided to train under mercenaries, assassins, and martial artists alike to learn what he could about the art of killing. But heroes couldn't kill. But he could use these ideas to help him become a hero, going to a minor hero school and trying to train himself to the point that he could be a pro. And this led him to his 3rd year of high school. Based on his capabilities, he was actually able to skip his first 2 years of a hero high school, especially when it's such a minor one like the one he was going to. It's such a no-name hero high school that they're honestly pleased to have someone like Izuku. He may be quirkless, but he's stronger than everybody there. So Izuku keeps working hard, especially in his 3rd year of high school, ready to, well, head out into the real pro hero scene. That's until something drastic occurs, something that he could not think, well, would ever occur to him. He went to the hospital with his mother, and they diagnosed him with, well, terminal cancer. Cancer that would end the boy's life and dreams of being a hero. Izuku wanted to go through treatment, but it was too late. He couldn't do anything about it, so he decided that he would forego, well, his high school. He didn't want to be there anymore. He wanted to make a difference now, and if that meant doing it the quote-unquote illegal way, he'd do just that. But even that would lead down a spiral of, well, criminal type of actions. Izuku realized that with his last breaths, he didn't have much to lose anyways. He was quirkless. Hero Society shamed him for it. So why should he be a hero? He should do things his own way. So that's what he began doing. He began taking contracts from an unknown supplier, someone that would pay him to kill certain people. For a while he did this until he got so sick that he couldn't do it anymore. His mother began to get worried about where he's been and what he's been doing, and actually she has something for him. A way to get cured is right on the horizon. A group of people have been, well, experimenting with this idea, and they finally came to the conclusion that the terminally ill could be cured. At least that's what the postcard says. So Izuku goes over there, and when he arrives, well, he's greeted by some sketchy people that bring him in, make him sign papers, and immediately get to work. Whoa, don't tie me down so hard. Like, buy me dinner first. They tighten the grips even harder, making it so he can't move. Izuku, obviously making his smart remarks and quips, realizes that this is serious, that these people are doing experiments that are far beyond anything a normal doctor would just do. He began to undergo these experiments. It felt like soon he would have a date with death, that he would die not next to his mother, but next to these spineless scientists that were experimenting on him, ripping him apart. They would, well, burn him. They would reduce his oxygen input. They would scold him with boiling water. They do various torturous like acts in this name of science, in the name of curing him, they would say. Izuku's smart remarks never left him though. He knew that if he was going to die, that he would get the last laugh anyways, so it didn't matter. During his torture sessions, he'd slyly remark at the doctors that were torturing him more or less, and they'd get even more mad and mad. It's as if these experiments were for their own pleasure, and seeing somebody remark at them as he was actually was torture itself. Izuku would laugh more and more until one, weekend, they left him in an oxygen-deprived chamber for 3 days. Izuku's skin began to morph. It became scaly, looked like it had holes. It looked like he was becoming a monster. Izuku can feel this and began to try to rip his way out, eventually being able to, and actually sparking something that he stole a while ago from, one of the doctors, and it goes up in flames. The entire building explodes in a blaze of glory, and Izuku is dead. Or at least, that's what everyone began to think. But Izuku Midoriya was not dead. Izuku Midoriya was not alive. He seemed to be in between. His cancer would kill him, but his body would bring him back. He was in an eternal state of suffering, you could call it. An eternal state of living and dying. When you live and die at the same time, you can never go to either side. So Izuku, he was alive in the eyes of the people. You could see him in front of you, walking around and doing such a thing, but it seemed like he was working in a fog. Working in a way that he didn't feel alive necessarily. Maybe being dead would make him feel that way. But that's a question for another time. Izuku needs to get out of here, and he tries to do just that. Police and other people began to arrive at the scene of the giant explosion, in which Izuku is able to swiftly escape, and he's able to swiftly get back home. Izuku enters his house, stumbling and mumbling under his breath, and calls to his mother, and his mother runs out to see him, dragging his tattered and bruised body across the floor, and she picks him up and puts him on the bed, asking what happened. And he explains that this so-called, cure of terminal illness was a torture center, a torture of his body, his mind, and everything alike. And his mother begins to sob and apologize, but Izuku says that it's fine. It seems like he's cured. He's not dying. He can feel it, but he's not living necessarily either. It's kind of odd. It's as if he's healing before the cancer could fully kill him. His mother is shocked by this and is so confused, but she asks maybe it's his quirk that got activated, but he says that this feels like something different, that there's something else to this. There's something else to this torture that they did, but maybe he'll never find that out. Inko begins saying that he could become a hero, but Izuku decides that he doesn't want that by any means actually anymore, and admits to his mother what he's been doing. He's become more or less a mercenary for hire, but he only eliminates people that he deems, that needs to be eliminated. But his mother doesn't judge him actually for some reason, and says that she will love him unconditionally no matter what. If he looks like Izuku, if he looks different than Izuku, if he has a mask on, if he has a suit of people's own blood, it won't matter to her. This gives Izuku the idea. He basically tells her that, does she remember the same suit that she made him months ago? And she says, of course, that it's in the closet. He asks if they can change that suit to red, give him a mask, and give him the eyes of a dead person, some white, something that is just pure white and that you can't see his eyes. He wants to be able to, well, embrace that side when he goes out the next time. Inko actually agrees to this. Inko wants to see her baby boy succeed in anything he does, and obviously wants those people, whoever did this to him, to be punished. Inko is showing a new side of herself, the one mother that we see in various universes that cares for Izuku is present, but even present to a more degree. She cares even more about Izuku, to the point that she wants him to do what he sees to be best. And to be best is to be the merc with a mouth. He needs to be the mercenary that he's been, but at a higher level now. He needs to be something different. Some time passes and finally his suit is completely in order and he gets everything settled, eventually going back to more or less these contractors. It's an underground bar that basically has a hit list. A list of people that the other people want dead. He heads down there, and when he arrives, he begins seeing a list of bets. He asks what's that all about, and they all greet him back, saying that they swore he was going to be dead. He said that he had cancer. What happened? Well, it's interesting. So now you want to tell me why you have all those names up there and why mine has the most bets? The bartender then tells him, well, you see, we have bets on who we think will die first, and we call it the Deadpool. But it seems that, most people counted on you dying first after your whole, cancer thing. I see. That's interesting. Where do I get the money? What are you talking about? No one has died yet. Yeah, but, I don't think I can die. So your little Deadpool doesn't really matter to me now. They begin questioning him what he's talking about, and he explains the, agony he went through. And that's about it. He doesn't explain anything more or less. They ask him how does that have anything to do with not dying, and he tells them that that's for him to know and for them to find out. But for now, he'd like another mission. Another, hit, you could say. He needs some money, and he needs, it kind of now. So he's given another hit on a gang drug lord type of person again, and he goes out and kills him. And during the fight, he begins stretching his limits and trying to see, how much he can endure. The gang or drug lord boss begins blasting him with an MP5 and laying bullets into him. Izuku falls on the ground and collapses, and he begins to laugh, saying that the famous mercenary with a mouth, or merc with a mouth, is finally dead. But Izuku starts getting up, and the holes that were shown in his chest, his abdomen, his legs, his throat begin to heal. He clears his throat. Sorry, my voice, gets a little scratchy when bullets fly through my throat. The drug lord boss is beginning to freak out and saying that he's dead. You're dead. No, I'm not dead. I'm Deadpool. Izuku charges in an instant and stabs a sword straight through the drug lord boss, killing him, and then heads back to the bar. The underground bar with all the hits. He gets his money, and he decides not to make or get another mission. He decides to do something for his own personal pleasure, and that's hunting down these, people that did this to him. And he wants to just, thank them for their contribution to his work. So he heads off in search of these scientists, coming back to the ruined building, seeing that all the equipment that survived is now gone. But there are trails they left, trails that he may be able to follow to find these people. Eventually, he finds someone that looks familiar. He decides to stalk them for a while and see if they have any importance. But it seems like they don't. They don't have any importance at all, so he drops down, grabs them, pulls them into an alleyway, and puts a gun to their head. Hello, Mr. Scientist. I didn't get your name in the first place, but it's not like anybody really cares. Am I right, listeners? What are you talking about? Who are you even talking to? Oh, sorry about that. Now, I need some information. Actually, about all your other scientist buddies. But more importantly, who you work for. Izuku smiles widely, obviously not being able to be seen through the mask, but even the scientists can tell that there is a smirk overwhelming the face of Izuku. And the scientist spills anything that he knows, saying that they work for the League of Villains, some group that tries to basically take over Japan. A group that is trying to make an army, and they were trying to contribute, and it seems like they did. They made a super soldier of some sorts, and Izuku smirks once again through his mask and slaps him in the face. Super soldier? No, more like a super mercenary. Come on, you don't have to do that. Call me Deadpool, by the way. I think that's a way better name than a super soldier. Super soldier? That sounds so lame. The guy is shaking in his boots. This man is holding a gun to his head, fiddling it around, and laughing about the torture that he was put through. Now, let's not think about the torture I was put through, okay? Let's actually talk to you. Can we learn about, well, where that boss of yours is? The man is shaking and shakes his head that he doesn't know. He swears on it. Oh, come on, you're holding out on me, right? You must have something. And he says no, that he doesn't. And, well, Izuku shoots him in the foot and smiles once again. Are you sure? You don't have anything. Nothing at all. I really don't. I don't. He shoots him in the other foot and continues to interrogate him until he's actually given a location. A location of a possible base of the League of Villains. So Izuku decides to head over there. He heads there, and when he arrives, it seems vacant, abandoned, and a screen turns on. Hello, I've heard in the streets you're called Deadpool. Are you really talking to me through a screen? Did you really say the streets as if we're some gang members? That is really old-fashioned, man. Like, you sound like you're trying to be hip, but old-fashioned at the same time. It doesn't make sense. Enough of playing. I've heard about you. Deadpool, the one that was on the brink of death from cancer itself. The human body was being destroyed. But you survived it because of us. You tortured me. I survived it because you tortured me. It really doesn't make sense, but thanks, I guess. You gave me the means to actually cut your head off and hang it up on a tree. All for One continues on. Do you really not know who I am? You know it won't be that simple. You know who I am, don't you? I'm not sure. You have a screen. Let me give this a thought. Since my, writer just said you're all for one, I assume you're all for one. I'm not here to play games with you, boy. So, if you want to work for me, you can. But, trust me, if you decide you don't want to, you'll die. I'll die. Is that a promise? Because frankly, if it's a promise, I might have to not work for you because I really do want to die. Are you even taking me seriously? Oh, the person on a screen that I can't even see. Yeah, I'm taking you seriously. All for One is now boiling. He is pissed. He's never had someone speak with him like this. Izuku doesn't care about his remarks, doesn't care about what All For One has to say, but All For One gives in. He doesn't care anymore. Let's see how strong you actually are, Mr. Deadpool. 3 Nomus then arrive after All For One pushes one button, and Izuku stares at them and his eyes grow wide. Oh my god. It's a bunch of oversized birds! I think I've seen this in some Teen Titans show before. I'm not so sure. All For One, you can hear him sigh in complete annoyance, and the TV turns off. Well, I guess it's time to have some fun. Well, Izuku stands there in front of 3 Nomus. The Nomus begin walking toward Izuku, and he begins remarking that they, well, look like birds, but you guys are also like built like, you know, a green giant monster. What's that guy's name again? Bulk? Dolk? Sulk? No. That's what I do when I'm sad. What is it? What is the... As Izuku is remarking this, he gets punched in the face by one of the Nomus and sent flying against the wall, and half of his face is kind of torn off. That was not nice. Actually, I might have a mild concussion. But not nice. Izuku charges back in, kicking one of the Nomus in the face, but nothing necessarily happens. But he jumps on one of the Nomus and guides one of his punches to the other Nomu, laying one of the Nomus out, well, not for the count, but on the ground. He pulls out his swords and slices one of the Nomu's arms off. Oh, slice and dice, I guess. Izuku begins jumping around, slicing at the vital parts of all the, well, the Nomus, eventually leading to more or less just a number of limbs on the ground. Izuku is able to defeat them, luckily, but he has no information on where this said All For One currently is. If he wants to seek revenge, he'll need to seek out a different person, maybe, that could help track him down. Well, more like, he'll beat the person until he tells him where All For One is. So, Izuku decides that he'll be searching for this person. He has some hunches, you could say, that, well, may be true or may be false. He knows some of the underlings of All For One, or in the League of Villains, really despise, well, All Might himself. So, he decides to keep that in mind and maybe hunt someone down that he knows may spill the beans. So Izuku goes in search of that person. But before he could actually find him, he finds someone he wasn't even thinking about. Finds someone that would give him, well, a nice fight. Not only that though, a fight that he didn't necessarily want to take. While searching for the man by the name of Shigaraki, the man that is known to be All For One's quote-unquote successor, at least based on rumors he's heard, he stumbles across someone else, well, killing a hero by the name of Ingenium. Izuku comes across this man and, well, begins talking to him as if he was straight out of a comic book. Now what do you want, Mr. What do they call you? Deadpool? Oh, come on. You don't have to be so formal. Call me Daddy. No, seriously. Can I call you Staney? If you call me that again, I'll kill you. I mean, you kind of can't, but I like the enthusiasm. Now, I didn't mean to run into you. And maybe this is for, well, the best. Don't waste my time, or I'll end your life. Or at least put you in an eternal state of agony. Whoa, don't get so aggressive, Staney. Stain charges at Izuku, slicing off one of his legs instantly. My leg! Why'd you do that? Izuku reattaches his leg, and their fight begins. And they seem pretty equal for the most part, but it's hard to really tell. Izuku never, has been taking most fights seriously, and this one's really not any different. He kind of plays around with Stain, but you can tell that, they're on somewhat equal footing in terms of swordsmanship. But eventually Stain just stops and says that he's not here to kill him, he was here to, kill a different hero. So it doesn't really matter anymore. You know, it's actually pretty interesting I ran into you, Stain. And I kinda need some help. Actually, to track down a certain someone. And who is that? Well, I kinda wanna find All for One. But, his little, underling or successor would be just fine too. Stain looks at him and asks what's in it for him. What's in it for you? I can get you new swords. Brand new swords. Adamantium swords? The ones that cancel regeneration? Would that be good enough? Stain smirks and says that get him the swords and it will help him find him. And Deadpool, or Izuku, obviously, just immediately throws him the swords he already has. That will work. They're adamantium. You can take them. Stain nods and says that he'll get any information he can on, these people. So that's exactly what he does. Some time passes, and finally he gets the information back to Izuku. Izuku then learns of a Hosu city attack soon to come, and that more or less Shigaraki and his other little underling will be around the area during this time. Now this works perfectly. Thank you. Izuku then obviously heads out in wait for the Hosu city attack. Eventually leading up to that attack, when it occurs during all of the ruckus and all of the battling, Izuku comes out of nowhere in search for Shigaraki, eventually finding him and Kurogiri sitting on a rooftop. Oh, I've been looking for both of you, Mr. Hand Face and scars on your neck, and you I don't really know. You must be one of his underlings, huh?
Young master, this must be the person he spoke of.
Yeah, I know. Just leave it alone. You're Deadpool, right? Big fan. Love how you kill people. Now, I've been wondering, why are you after All for One? He is the one that basically saved your life. Don't you owe him a huge debt?
Izuku appears in front of Shigaraki and says that he owes no man a debt, as he puts a gun to his head. Now, you're gonna tell me where he is, so I can blow his brains out. Shigaraki is shocked by this, but slightly smirks, grabbing Izuku's gun as it melts away in his hand. Now, that was interesting. You can just melt people's, guns away? Body parts? Well, I can't die, Mr. Shigaraki, so you can melt me to dust, but I don't know how that will go for you.
Well, unfortunately, I can't tell you where my master is. But if you want to join us, maybe we can make out an arrangement. But it seems you're kind of dead set on killing him, so I can't do that. Thank you though.
Izuku then begins to fade, to dust, at least one of his arms. He realizes that Shigaraki just grabbed it. He pushes away from Shigaraki and throws something on him without being noticed. Kurogiri quickly warps them away, and Izuku behind his mask begins to smirk. Now that is, the tracker has been planted, his plan could continue on just as he expected. He then heads home for a little bit to get settled, and he looks where the tracker is currently at, heading over to what seems to be the new League of Villains base. He actually decides that he wants to make this a spectacular show. More convenient for everyone else. So he decides to, well, anonymously tell the police and heroes where the League of Villains base is. He waits outside of the base until tons and tons of heroes arrive, and they immediately execute within the base. This then forces the villains within to basically try to counterattack, but the heroes overwhelm them, and honestly quickly at that. It's honestly not even fair. They weren't expecting a huge siege. They could have expected maybe just Izuku, but not an entire hero force, including the symbol of peace, All Might. This is something different. But luckily, they were able to get out of there. They were able to escape at their skin of their teeth. Shigaraki begins running down an alleyway with Kurogiri obviously already detained. He can't, well, just warp away. But Shigaraki seems to have gotten away, but Izuku lands right in front of him with one knee on the ground and a fist on the ground as well. So you like my hero landing?
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Izuku gets back up and brushes off his knee. That kinda hurt though. It looks so much cooler in the shows.
Again, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, isn't it pretty obvious? I'm here to, well, more or less torture you until you tell me where All For One is. Shigaraki's face drops. He realizes that he is in a bit of a predicament. Izuku is standing in front of him, or Deadpool is standing in front of him, and he has no way out. He has no real counterattack measures, and well, this doesn't look very good for him. It looks like this, well, could lead to his demise if he's not careful.
Okay, alright. Don't know why you wanna attack my master so badly, because frankly that most likely means your death. But I'll fetch, well, the information for you. He's actually here right now.
A portal opens up right beneath Shigaraki and he falls through. Izuku chases after him and goes through the portal as well, and they appear in the middle of the city. The LOV was teleported out of there, and well, All For One is there as well, ready to fight All Might. Perfect! Both the symbol of peace and All For One are here together? This is amazing! Everyone is confused. Well, Izuku just scratches the back of his head and says that this should be a fun fight. He wants to kill All For One, but I mean, fighting All Might is just as good. This then leads to an all-out battle. You mean like an all-right battle? Dude, I don't know why you keep cutting me off. Stop cutting me off.
Because what are you gonna do about it? Write me into a corner where I die?
I mean, I could.
You wouldn't dare.
Yeah, I wouldn't dare. Sure. So the all-out battle begins, and well, Deadpool, All Might, and All For One are practically at each other's throats. They begin bashing and well, destroying each other, but Deadpool has one thing in mind, and that is killing All For One. That's what he cares about, and he makes that severely clear to All Might, that he doesn't care about his little hero stuff. All he cares is that All For One pays for the torture he was put through, that he was put through mental, physical, and everything types of torture, and you cannot take that away from him. So Deadpool, at the brink of, well, the battle, at the stepping stone of the top of the battle, he was able to end All For One's life. Right after All Might lands that finishing blow, All Might tells him that he shouldn't have done that, and he punches Deadpool in the face, or Izuku in the face, sending him flying. And when he crashes into the wall, Izuku realizes that that hurt a good bit. His regeneration is obviously still there, but he can feel pain, and he steps out of the crevice to see tons of heroes. He gets lit up by, well, a bunch of bullets, gets hit by a bunch of flames, and then gets punched once again by All Might. And, well, Izuku is completely out of commission. Eventually they bring him to the hospital to more or less keep him there, but his regeneration isn't actually working. For some reason it's slowed down. All for One must have planted something within his body just as the final battle was climaxing. And that's exactly what happened. All for One did something to Izuku to counteract the regeneration this mutation gave him. It seems that Izuku is now slowly dying to the cancer. And, well, after some time, the heart monitor flatlines. It seems that Izuku, the one by the name of Deadpool, will die here and now, and the bets that are in will succeed. The bets that, well, he would be first on the Deadpool. He would be first to be on the chopping block. Izuku Midoriya, other known as Deadpool, will be dead very soon, at least according to the heart monitor. The doctors rush in and try to save him, but nothing works. Unfortunately, it was too late, leading to them burying him and, well, having a tombstone. Everyone begins, well, reciting things about him, about Izuku Midoriya, and that he may have been misled, but he was not a bad person by any means. And that is, well, the end of Izuku Midoriya as we know it. And then, when everybody leaves though, well, a hand bursts out of the ground and, well, Deadpool is still alive. Izuku Midoriya is still alive, and Golden What Ifs sucks major. Dude, who wrote this? Who do you think wrote this? Obviously me. You can't kill me off. I'm the main character. Oh my god. How are you in my computer? How are you writing these things? Well, I'm kind of everywhere. Duh. Okay, I'm not reading that last part though. Freaking shameful, Deadpool. You're shameful. Deadpool's hand comes out of the ground and he's still alive. Vengeance is not over for him. There's people out there that still need to be slain, need to be put down like the animals they are. Deadpool pushes himself out of his own grave, out of the piles of dirt on top of him. Just like the dead man walking he is, he doesn't fear death itself. Death cannot take him away, and death will never... Actually, sorry to cut you off, buddy, but Golden is wrong. I actually did die for a little bit. Oh, it was beautiful. Death is just so amazing. Why do you keep cutting me off? Just let me narrate your story. Yeah, but you suck at narrating. I can take it away from here. Death was beautiful, everybody. I went, I saw. Oh my god, you should have saw Lady Death. She was fine. But that's beyond the point. I, well, arose out of my grave just like that. Like a heroic hero I am. You're not a hero by any means. I am a hero. No, you're not. You're definitely not. Did you not see my hero landing? You're the one that wrote it. Oh man, I wish I kept you dead. Can't kill me. So, Deadpool arrives from his grave, walks out, and this dead man walking did not play games with death, even though he will say he did. But death is not a person, Deadpool. Okay, with that said, he has some, well, scores to settle. Not only with Shigaraki, the leader of the League of Villains, but also heroes. These heroes want to, well, play this game. They want to send him back to where he came from. Well, they're gonna have a rude awakening when Deadpool knocks on their door. Deadpool, the mercenary assassin, Izuku Midoriya felt as if he was born for this now. He may have went through torture, maybe even 3 lifetimes of it, but this is deserving. Deadpool will mark his list. He'll check it twice. And, well, make sure you're naughty or nice. Did you write this too? No. My bad, guys. He wrote that too. But, let's continue. Deadpool begins to, well, mark off his list. Eventually finding the next victim that he wants to go after. And it starts with that dumb person that put bullets in his body while he was trying to, well, escape after finishing off All For One. He helped this society by eliminating All For One, and Snipe decided to, well, impale him with a bunch of bullets. So, Izuku Midoriya wants to lay siege on these heroes. These heroes, you could say, with quotations. These heroes aren't, well, good for society, he believes. It doesn't matter. Hero, villain, anti-hero, anything. Without someone like a Spider-Man to know good and evil with a clean margin, someone that suffers with a clean margin but still enact true justice. Well, this world doesn't have those heroes. This world lacks those heroes. So Izuku Midoriya is going to make sure that, well, he can purge these heroes as he sees fit. You know, this sounds very familiar. Very familiar to a storyline that I was in. Maybe, did I kill the DC universe? Who did I kill? Did I kill Marvel? I don't even know. Did I kill the X-Men? Wolfie wouldn't really like that though. Can you stop cutting me off? And yes, this is based off of some freaking comic, okay? God. Just leave it. Okay. Well, Deadpool will try his best to eliminate, well, these so-called heroes in an act of revenge. Or maybe in an act of keeping himself sane. But you'll find out next time on part 3 of What If Deku Was Deadpool. Deadpool, or, well, Izuku Midoriya, now has a new mission. I don't know if it's for fun or it's for comedic relief for him, but he has a new mission. He wants to exterminate every powerful hero. It seems like he's mocking some comic book that he was in before, which I'm not so sure, but it seems like that's what he wants to do. Deadpool, or Izuku Midoriya, heads out on that said mission, hunting down every hero, starting with a undercover one by the name of Hawks. Hawks is said to, well, basically be working with the LOV, but obviously he's undercover. Izuku knows this. He's seen the files that have basically told him that, and he begins to hunt this man down, stalking him from rooftop to rooftop until eventually he enters a building. Izuku follows him in and traps him in a room. Hey, Mr. Hockey. What are you doing here? What do you want? Oh, it's really simple. I kinda wanna, kill you. Kill me? What the hell are you on about? Aren't you the one that helped with the All For One fight? Yeah, but I changed my mind. They also tried to hit me and hurt me right after the fight. That wasn't very nice. So, I'm just gonna take it out on you, if that's okay. Plus, my writer wants that. What do you mean your writer wants that? That's what you want. Well, you are the writer, correct? So now I can blame it all on you. That is oddly ominous. That's beyond the point. Deadpool then begins his fight with Hawks. The fight is swift, fast, but in a close quarters, obviously Izuku has the advantage, and he begins striking down Hawks, cutting through his wings, making it so that his mobility is practically none, eventually leading to having the blade of his, well, sword up to Hawks' neck. But Izuku begins to question if he should actually do this, and if he should actually... No, I don't. Why would I ever question killing somebody? Now here, take this. Oh, what the fuck? You just throw a paper at me? Okay. It seems that Izuku Midoriya does not question his methods of killing. He puts a bullet in Hawks' head and walks out of the room. Okay. That's done and over with. I guess Izuku then heads off to his next target, and that target is Endeavor. He is someone that, well, is not the best of people. He actually hurts his family, beats his wife, and obviously does various other horrible and heinous things. And Deadpool wants to seek him out for that reason especially. He's not about hurting others, I mean, at least not always, but he's not about hurting people that are, well, completely defenseless. The fact that he's abusing his sons and daughters and even his wife is not okay with Deadpool. Deadpool approaches his home and, well, he makes it very easy for Endeavor. He knocks and screams for his name to come out and, well, that he wants to have a word with the big man. Endeavor approaches him outside and throws a punch at Deadpool, but Deadpool easily parries the blow from Endeavor, tossing him around like a rag doll. It's nothing for Deadpool. Nothing for the, well, handsome and amazing... Okay, this isn't my script. What did you do to my script? Hey, I didn't do anything to your script, okay? I didn't do anything at all.
What the hell are you doing? Who are you talking to?
I'm obviously talking to the writer. Come on, are you dense, Endeavor? Like, I know, like, you've had that fire around your head all the time, but didn't know your brain cells completely burned off.
Your writer? What are we, in some anime?
Only if you knew. Never mind that. I think we'll just continue with our fight if that's okay with you. Deadpool continues to batter Endeavor, cutting him up like it's a piece of cake. And, well, let's just say Deadpool finishes him off in style. But this continues for a while. Not the beating of Endeavor. He's already gone. But the killing and mass killing of heroes. Hero after hero would perish. Deadpool would go around killing off everybody and everyone. Actually, to the point where he began going to different multiverses. Wait, that means I can do that? You're letting me do that? I can go, well, kill off the other versions of me? Really? No, don't do that. Let's not do that, please? Let's just stick to the script. Yeah, you already messed up. The script, that's what it says. Oh god, this is not good. Deadpool then finds a way to, well, break into the multiverse. And he heads off to, well, face other versions of himself, or other versions of Izuku Midoriya, starting with a multiverse where Izuku Midoriya defeated Gigantomachia with various mythical creatures. And right after that battle, he approaches Izuku, an Izuku that's already hurt and battered. Hey!
Huh? Who are you?
And what do you want? And what's with your suit? I should be saying the same thing to you. That's a weird suit you got there.
Oh my god. What do you want? Stop or I'll kill you.
Hey, that's not very nice. Not very nice. The mythical creatures Deku begins to change into a monster, but then stops. He realizes that he's actually pretty tired out from the battle he just had. Aw, too bad. It seems you're tired out. Well, that's unfortunate. But at least in some universe you'll be alive. What? What are you on about? Helicopters begin to soar around, and Night-Eye and various other people from their agency arrive as well. And they begin to try and help Izuku. Izuku says that this person must be dangerous, that it feels odd talking to him, that he needs to be able to recover a little bit. Deadpool begins to cut down the army, or the, group of heroes like it's nothing. It's nothing for him. He doesn't care, and frankly, it's super easy. None of them can keep up. His training's too much, and his powers are too strong. And the only person that can really stand a chance is Izuku, mythical creatures, Deku. And he is currently close to out of commission, but he's trying to regain some stamina. Eventually, he's able to get up. Eventually, he's able to begin fighting, and he begins morphing into a monster, into a mythical creature. The only mythical creature he can think that can stop this guy, at least right now. Really? You think he can stop me? Me? This is gonna be easy. Deadpool looks over and stares at Izuku, but Izuku is in his Gorgon form, and Deadpool begins to slowly but surely turn into stone. There's no way you just did this. You are not turning me into stone right now. This is ridiculous. I can't believe you. And Deadpool is now entirely stone, and he, is completely in stone with his middle fingers poking out. Very odd-like for him. But that's not it. Izuku and the rest of the heroes take the statue away to more or less just put it into captivity. But the thing is, when they do this, it seems off. Everything seems weird. They can feel, the ground shaking, and it feels as if the multiverse is cracking to its core. Deadpool, still stuck in stone, mythical creatures Deku walks outside to see rift after rift opening. Now this is not good. Not good at all. He sees various versions of himself walking out. Akaza Deku, Blood Quark Deku, Thief Quark Deku, Technopath Deku, Assassin Deku, Martial Arts Deku, Wolf Quark Deku, and more and more. An infinite amount of Dekus begin to emerge from these portals, and mythical creatures Deku doesn't know what to do. He's at a loss for words at what he's watching, and it's all because of this stupid idiot, this merc with the mouth. It's all because of Deadpool. All because of, as the mythical creatures Deku is ranting this to himself, a blade goes over his neck. Yeah, you're right. It is all because of me. But this is gonna be so much more fun. An Izuku Midoriya, a Deku Battle Royale? It's gonna be amazing. Can't you see it? Can't you see it, other me? It's gonna be great. You don't know what you just did. You just brought hell to my universe. Yeah, but it's gonna bring hell to every other one, so does it really matter? It really does matter. Now, can you please get the sword off my neck? Well, I told you that it is a battle royale, but I guess you're the first to go. He slices mythical creatures Deku's neck and leaves him there to bleed out. He walks toward the thousands of portals that begin to open, and he opens his arms wide. Now this is what we call a party. One hell of a party. But behind him, he can feel the ground shaking, And well, mythical creatures Deku begins to transform into Cerberus, the three-headed hellhound, and he basically looks at Deadpool.
Now you messed up, you red freak.
Deadpool smiles behind his mask and looks to the other Dekus as well and screams out that it's party time. But that is where this story ends.